Boys and girls, what if you lived during the time of the American Revolution? In this book, If You Lived in the Time of the American Revolution by Kay Moore, it is a down-to-earth view of what it was like to live during the American Revolution. Now, some very important things in here are if you were a patriot, what did it mean for you to be a patriot? Or if you were a loyalist. If you were a loyalist, what kind of things would happen to you if you were a loyalist? Or what if you were a patriot and lived in a loyalist town? Also some things, it's got a lot of pictures in here that shows you the kinds of dress, the way people dressed back in those times, both men and women, boys and girls. And it tells you the different names of the things that they wore, the clothes that they wore. It shows you some of the houses that they lived in, explains that. It tells you about what the different Indian tribes that supported the colonists and some that supported the loyalists, who King George III was and why he didn't like the colonists. It also tells you about how would you have shopped in a city back in the times of the American Revolution. It's got a wealth of information in it. It's a fairly short book, but it's just packed with information on all the things that you would have need to have known about the American Revolution. So go get this book, If You Lived in the Time of the American Revolution by Kay Moore, and see all the different kinds of things and information that you need to know about. This would be a great book to read if you're doing a project or you're doing a paper on the American Revolution. It also gives you some of the names of people, famous people who were on the patriot side, and also some that were on the loyalist side. Now, we don't know many of the people on the loyalist side because they're not really famous in history as far as we're concerned, because if they had got their way, we would have still been under England's rule. So go get this book, If You Lived at the Time of the American Revolution by Kay Moore, and see some of the very exciting things about the American Revolution. Hey, this is Mr. Dean. Thank you for joining me again for another Mr. Dean's Outdoor Reading Adventures.